Man, happy Tuesday, everybody. It's the Lucky Lefty podcast. The Onora boys are in the building, brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you're going to drink, by all means, make sure that you do so.
Responsibly.
You got to do it responsibly. Yes, I am on here looking like that thing outside of your barber's shop, the little candy stripe joint.
That's right.
It's a sunny day in Chicago. Been a tough morning, left. Tough morning. Woke up at 5 a.m. This is the wrong reason why, technology is a pain in the butt sometimes.
Okay.
So I wake up in the morning and it's like sounds and beeps going off everywhere, right? I'm like, man, what the heck is going on? So I'm trying to figure out where this loud sound is coming from, and the first sound is coming from my Ring keypad, right? For my doorbell. Then it's another sound coming from all the appliances in the kitchen. There's no power, right? So I'm walking around the first floor, and there's no power in all of the rooms on the first floor except for one. This is how weird it is. There's no power on the first floor at all, except for one room. So I go to the basement. Basement is lit up, right? Come upstairs from the basement, go to the top floor. No power, except for two bedrooms. And I'm like, yo, what is going on, right? So now I go downstairs once again, and I'm like, man, maybe it's a fuse issue. So I check the box. Nothing's tripped. Click things on and off. Come back upstairs, nothing's changed. It's literally 3 rooms in the house in total to have power. That's it. It's the weirdest thing ever. So now I have to readjust everything. And I take my router from my Wi-Fi, attach it in the room where the power is, so everything can start running, so my Ring can connect, the TVs can connect that are on in the house, so I can operate a little bit. The master bedroom was one of the master bedroom was one of the rooms that did have power. So that was a good thing as well. This is one of those byproducts of, I don't know if you experienced this, but my house happens to be the house on the block where ComEd comes to take care of the entire neighborhood. Same thing for the internet. Like anything's going crazy and they need to get to the fiber optics, the box is literally in my backyard. ComEd box is in my backyard. Like this grid. It's crazy. So I had an appointment this morning at 7:15. I leave out and I see the ComEd truck out front. And I'm like, what's going on? They're like, yeah, we're having problems in the area, working on it. And so I tell them, I say, yo, this is crazy because, I only have power in 3 rooms in my house. And they were like, yeah, we probably cut off, certain circuits, for those areas. And so he explained it, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, I guess tell me if I'm upset, because this could be the LL question today.
Okay.
I felt upset for a moment because I'm like, man, you could have rang my doorbell. Now you have free access to my backyard, but you could have let me know, like, yo, this is what's going on. We're gonna let you know we're gonna be back here. Da, 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 da. Man, by this time I had set up an appointment for my electrician to come by after we did the show today. Like, me, I'm already like, yo, I can't figure out what's going on. I got to figure this out. I've already solved how I can do the show, but my freezer's full. my refrigerator's full. I'm about to lose all of this food.
Yeah.
What's going on? So
what do you got about 4 or 5 hours for the freezer or the refrigerator? If you keep it closed?
If I'm not mistaken, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. It was just weird, man.
Yeah.
It was weird. But you know what? It was one of those moments where I literally gave thanks, bro. Because I was like, if you were going to leave any power in any of the rooms, the TV room downstairs and the master bedroom upstairs, like, man, I appreciate you. Cut everything else off.
Yeah.
And at least allow me to be able to shower, take care of things. That man, it helped me. Myself and my wife were able to get off to both our appointments. I was back home in like an hour. And by the time I had got back home, everything was fixed and everything was turned on. So it's just when, like when you have a house built on technology and power goes out, man.
That's why I don't want to get a smart refrigerator. They'll lock my refrigerator up. I can't even open it.
And the missus has been trying to talk me into getting one of those smart refrigerators, with the keypad on the front that controls everything.
Oh, what?
Man, she's an appliance snob. I keep telling you, Left. She's an appliance snob. She asked me for a new dryer last night.
Oh, man, that's a tough one.
Because the dryer in her is not getting warm enough. I'm like, what are you talking about?
You just put it on for longer.
Like you just went through like 6 loads. And you're complaining about the heat of the dryer. She just wants a new one. She doesn't like our appliances are white. So she doesn't like the fact that now, people have used it, spilled detergent on the top. So now,
it's an aesthetic thing now.
Yeah.
Aesthetics cost a lot now.
Yeah. She thinks she's trying to, I know what she really wants. She's trying to pull the wool over my eyes, but not today. Hey, check us out on YouTube. Maybe. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button. We appreciate you guys. You guys supported yesterday's show very well, man. The questions and the comments after the show were amazing. We appreciate you, LL Nation. Don't forget, each day you can download the podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. CFB Nation via Irish Breakdown. All of our great content. Leave 5 stars. Leave your comments. It's the home of the misguided passion, the Lucky Lefty podcast. You already know we spin it different. I'm coming to another point, Left.
And what is that?
I might be cutting the hair down, dude, for the blue and gold game. I might be cutting it down. I might be joining you, Left. It's grown. I've loved it for the 4 or 5 months I've had it. I might be going back to the Willas. Yeah. Or for those of you that don't understand that, the waves on the top waves. Of my shore, the waves,
That's right.
So I don't know. I might be doing that for my birthday, and I hit my boy up. I told Julio I might let him do the honors before we indulge in that weekend. I want to give you a plan, and you didn't get an opportunity to respond to Jared Parker in full yesterday, Love.
Yes.
You had to jet out, and we want to start with that. Get back on track. Jared Parker, he was talking about the transition of the coaching staff, right? Bringing in Gino Guidugli and how it was going to go seamlessly, or how it's gone seamlessly up to this point. Here is Jared Parker talking about that.
It's like the older you get, the more you learn it's not about you as much. And I think being married, having kids, and doing this coaching thing for a while tells you that. So it's really not my stamp, it's ours, and that's not cliche. I really mean it. Like, I think that as you get it in and you get guys bought in and you build a staff that we built, both in our off-the-field guys and our on-the-field guys, we've got a great staff. We really do. And so my job is to just give great direction, provide leadership, and create a union that everybody feels empowered to do their jobs. So I think, if anything, I hope that would be maybe my stamp. Otherwise, I'm just a piece of it to try to help divide good direction And then from there, just let these guys do their jobs and let the players do their jobs.
So you learned about communication on your pass.
Oh, it's critical. I know that, right? I mean, it is. And our messaging, I think the way we talk, our vocabulary within our position groups and as an offensive unit are critical. How we talk, how we communicate. So the terminology is the same across the board, allows our guys to feel the unity of our staff and back to them. So communicating those thoughts, our plan, and making sure everything goes flawless in our transitions on the practice field are critical. And the first 3 days, that's one thing we'd be very proud of, is our transitions and our plan and guys knowing where to go has been pretty flawless at this point.
So he's talking about transition. I've said this. Left. I have not seen Jared Parker. I haven't, and I might be wrong. I've yet to see Jared Parker during drills, or they do 7-on-7s and shells and things. I've yet to see him say one word to a quarterback. When he says, "I'm letting these guys coach," he's letting. Yeah, there is a trust that exists already. Like, he's letting Joe Rudolph coach. He's letting Gino Guidugli coach. How are you feeling about that?
I really think it's cool to see. He came in saying he's going to delegate. He came in saying he's just trying to put the team in the best position with the guys and the talent that we have. And it seems to be that he's living up to it. He's not necessarily imposing, but he's doing sort of what an offensive coordinator, as a single offensive coordinator, is supposed to do. And you're managing, similar to a head coach. You don't really, Marcus Freeman's obviously more involved, but usually you don't see the head coach until like the big practices and, obviously the big team events. And similar to the offensive defensive coordinator, a lot of time you're spending your time with the strength coach and your position coaches. As offensive coordinator and managing a lot of different pieces, he seems to be all for that. And he's not looking to necessarily put his stamp on it as, oh, this is Jared Parker's offense. We're doing it Jared Parker's way. And all these coaches are coming back to me and, that kind of thing. It's more of, I'm going to let you do what you do best, what you hired for. We'll see what comes out of it. I'll take that and put it with this, and we'll see what offense we get out of it. And it seems to be that everybody seems to flow well and a lot stronger than how last year was. I mean, you're seeing a lot of guys get a chance to really put their knowledge in their position groups, and we'll get to see more creativity and hopefully you get to see more points. And the quarterbacks are throwing it pretty well, so we're on our way.
One of the things that we have seen, which you almost jumped out the screen when I said this last week, and I said it's sheerly from the numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just don't have the same numbers this spring that they had last year at the tight end position. We know the tight ends that are recovering from injury. Some are limited. So they just don't have the numbers to come out in 12 personnel, which has been probably the most popular personnel group for Notre Dame over the last 5 years. So it's literally been 4 wide, 3 wide the majority of the time. Man, Left heard that, and he almost jumped out of the screen when I said it. Like,
I cannot remember the last time we rolled out offense in the first drive without a tight end, because we tight end you.
What if Notre Dame took the field against Navy in the first series 4 wide?
I'll tell you one thing. I wouldn't wait till the third quarter to start watching.
But this goes back to, us talking about one of the things that needs to change is this Notre Dame offense being explosive early, right?
Absolutely.
You can tune into a Notre Dame game second series most of the time, and
we
you
still
haven't missed anything. Up. Yeah, you haven't missed anything.
We still
score.
Baiting defense. We setting them up, quote unquote. We just cooking them.
So, look, that's one of the things that is
it's highly likely that you'll leave a Notre Dame football game first half 10-7 or 14-10.
Yes.
With a lot of, we almost had it.
Yes.
With a lot of, we got to wake up.
Yeah.
Oh, we missed a lot of touchdown opportunities.
Jay Henry said he might shed a tear.
I
if
mean,
that
for
happened.
real. It would be 10 years of something that we're used to. And we roll out there and don't let us do something crazy like go empty. Come out the game looking like Texas Tech or something. But, the good thing is we have the talent to do anything we want. And I think Gerard Parker, in a sense, is perfect for that situation. If we had a roster like Western Michigan, I would be more demanding of Gerard Parker to be like, talk about our highlighted players and how we going to score enough. With us having a group of talent where you can just close your eyes and be like, we got a Jordan Grayhouse, we got a Grayhouse, we got a Logan Diggs, we got an Aldrich Estimate, we got a Tobias somewhere in here. Like,
right.
That's a lot easier and more comforting as an offensive coordinator to be like, 1 week, let's just throw the ball 50 times. 1 week, we might have to run it 30, 35 times. 1 week, who knows? We might have to do both. So I think if he can balance it, even though it's kind of broad and vague right now because it's spring, okay, but with that structure, hopefully we get somebody to pop out and be like, I'm the guy. Be like, I'm the guy.
Oh, man, I'm trying to think of this movie. Man, you ever seen this movie? It was with Owen Wilson and Eddie Murphy. And Eddie Murphy was a boxer. His name was Kelly Robinson. Kelly Robinson, baby, 49-0. Kelly Robinson. And so they put him on this fake, he was a spy. It's called I Spy, right? So they put him this fake I Spy thing surrounded by his boxing match in Germany, right? And so they gave him this thing in his eye and behind his ear so he could see himself and hear himself, right? So he put it on for the first time. He was like, "Ooh, I look good. Kelly Robinson, 49-0. Ooh, that's how I look. That's how I be whooping these cats." He was like, "Ooh, baby." He was like, "Give it back." He's like, "No, you can't have it back. I look too good. I got to watch myself, right?" Man, I don't even think Notre Dame players would know how to act on the sidelines, left.
Oh, yeah, no.
They'd probably be like Kelly Robinson, like, "What? That's how we looking? That's how we looking that good? No more 12 personnel? No. We good, baby. Let's keep
it rolling. Yeah.
Let's keep looking like Kelly Robinson."
You might mess around and start to see some plays happen. We might score 30 and a half. You never know. Just because the essence of the game changes. We might look dangerous out there one time.
Yeah.
Teams might be like, hold on, we don't start fast. We might be in trouble early. Like Clemson was a slow beating. At the end, you looked up, you're like, yeah, we whooped them. We whooped them pretty good. But through the game, it was like a little whooping here, a little whooping here. But we ain't just put the nail in the coffin early.
Right.
If we start trying to put the nail in the coffin early, I mean, it might change a lot about Notre Dame. People might have some respect talking about, well, they playing the top 5 team. I don't know who's going to win. Notre Dame tough. They got that one player, that one guy, that thing they do over there.
Yeah.
Marcus Freeman leading that charge. Now,
he's seen it. Ooh, that's scary. He saw, ooh, that's scary. 57-0, baby. I'm telling you, man, I Spy is one of the most underrated Eddie Murphy joints of all time, bro.
Yeah.
All time.
Yeah.
You got to watch it because the scene where he has Owen Wilson singing Sexual Healing is absolutely crazy. There it is. That's Kelly Robinson right there. That's the scene right there. Ooh, that's how I look. That's scary, baby. 57-0. Man, look. I'm telling you, Left, I can't wait for you to get down to a practice because they're really teasing us right now, Left. Right? running all these drills with all 4 quarterbacks throwing at the same time,
Yeah.
throwing the 4 wide receivers in formation. They teasing us right now, Left.
They teasing.
Yeah, dude. They teasing us, man.
I like it.
They're teasing us. I don't like to be teased.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm one of those dudes. I like to get straight to it, right? Now I know some people's mind might go to the left, but I'm gonna keep you on the straight road because we're gonna keep it on the path that Leak likes to take us down. We're gonna deal with it from a food standpoint. Left. See, I'm one of those people. You come in, you got some food you bought. I'm sitting down, I'm opening it up, getting the fork, I'm going in.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, my missus, everything has to be right. Right? She got to, we could have picked it up a block away. She has to reheat it. I don't care. It's still not as warm as it should be. She has to reheat it.
Is she the type to get Chick-fil-A, wait to take it home, unbox it, and then plate it?
Yes, Left.
You like, why?
Yes, Left.
Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
And got the whole sauces peeled off, and you like real like it's a meal, like you done cooked it or something. No.
Yes.
Unwrap it and eat it.
Yes. She won't use the ketchup packages that are given.
No. Got to go to the refrigerator.
Get her own Sweet Baby Ray and the ketchup, and then save the packages that they gave her. For what? I don't know. A rainy day, because the drawer is still full of packages from like 10,000 restaurants over the past 5 years.
Yeah, because you'll save it.
Absolutely.
You'll save it.
Have no clue. That's Notre Dame's offense. We've been saving plays for the last 5 years in the drawer. Like, where's that third down play? Where's that first down play?
We always got a plastic fork. We always got the spoons, fork. We always got the little salt packets. Anything.
Yes.
Yeah, you got the sauces.
Yes.
You don't need no barbecue. We had a McDonald's one we had it, saved in the refrigerator. Next to the butter. Everything next to the butter.
Yes. That's how Notre Dame's offense has been. That person that has to make sure everything's okay, plate it, save the first quarter points, save the first series touchdowns, save all the explosive plays from when we get down. Let's save that stuff.
Make a big pot roast.
Absolutely.
Make everybody a plate and then freeze the pot roast. What you freezing it for?
Dude, the play settings have to be right. Got to have your napkins here on the left. Got to do all of that. Only to sit down and say, oh, they don't taste the same. You got to be kidding me. You said it was cold, and you sat it down after warming it up and spent another 5 minutes getting everything right, and now it's still not warm?
Yeah. Especially, you take it too far when you start using sauces that don't come from the restaurant.
Oh, man.
It's like you really trying to decorate. It's McDonald's barbecue for McDonald's nuggets. You're creating your own sauce, getting on the stove and whipping up the barbecue with the hot sauce, and for what?
Oh, man. Oh, I love my missus. I promise you. I love my missus, boy. But I'm sorry, McDonald's fries were not meant to be on China. They were not meant to be on China. Man, just lay the bag down and let them fall in the brown bag. Just reach your hand in the bag, eat the fries.
Fast food, no way.
Man,
don't do that.
Take it to the farm. Thank you. Just one indie gal. Thank you for supporting and standing up for your side. She says, because we are not savages. Hey, okay.
Whatever you need.
That's what we want. We want Notre Dame's offense to become savages.
Yes.
This season. Become savages. Right? You talked about, yes.
We're holding games close all the time.
Yes, all games are closed casket. Your fans can go home. There will be no viewing.
No.
You're not, man, you can leave right now. It's the end of the first quarter. You're down 28. You can go home.
Offense was savages.
Yes, Tennessee State fans. You drove all the way from Nashville for no reason. You can hop back on 90 right now.
They drove, but to take the pictures on the campus.
Dude, Tennessee State fans on that Saturday by the second quarter should be going to visit the College Football Hall of Fame.
That's right. Go down
Like,
to
oh,
South Bend and go to Woochie's.
right.
Get you some food before you
Absolutely.
get pinkies. You know,
Absolutely.
go to the bookstore, pop in the Touchdown Jesus. Go to the grotto. You're gonna have time.
Oh man.
You might as well go back out tailgating with us because you know we're gonna sell you the tickets. We're gonna still be out there tailgating. You can sell your ticket, come out, get you a brat or something. But at the half, it's gonna be good. Don't even you came to see us run out to the dun 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 dun, and then the kickoff, and then you know, don't waste your time.
Look. Oh man, I love LL Nation. Dude, Coach Vic said McDonald's fries barely make it home.
Yeah.
Facts. Hey, Jay Henry said, yeah, you wasting dishes, man. You wasting dishes if you're putting fast food on dishes. Jay Carr says, paper plates are acceptable, but fast food on a glass plate is jail.
Don't be plating no fast food, man.
Man,
You gonna have people.
dude. There's Johnny S. TSU fans will be touring the campus during the game. Hey, that's the way it should be.
That's the way it should be.
That's the way it should be. Absolutely. Look, this is what we're looking for this offense, man. This is what we're looking for. I don't care what the collaboration is, but I know what the product needs to be. See? Product needs to be pure. Product can't be stepped on like Effie's doing in Power. Taking it raw, taking it to the hotel room, adding stuff, trying to make a little extra money on the side. No. Come out and let teams know this is how raw this offense is from the jump. Come out 4 wide. Come out 3 wide. Save Aldrich and the rest of the crew for the second quarter and start wearing teams down.
The gloves are off with us.
Bro, we threw the ball 38% of the time as an offense last year, bro. That's unacceptable in 2023.
That hurts to hear.
That's unacceptable. Sam Hartman should throw the ball minimum 60% of the time.
Yeah.
Minimum. And I know Coach Freeman wants to run the ball. That's cool. You can do that. You can do that. You can do that. But you know early on teams are going to put 8 in the box.
I mean, teams is looking at film from 6 years ago. We still doing the same thing.
Yes.
They're like, okay, we know our game plan is box. Don't even you can look at any tape from the last 5-6 years, excluding the Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma State. But we running that, we were loading the box.
I mean, the game plan from that Fiesta Bowl against, and man, please give Sam Hartman a Jack Cone game plan. Please. Like you said, Left, you can't have, man. And then you know what else the missus does, bro?
What?
She'll say that she doesn't want to order something that I order, but as soon as we get home, she's asking for something off my plate that she had the opportunity to order.
Or it's even worse when they be like, you're not leaving yet. You're like, hey, I'm about to go get some food. Do you want something? They're like, no, I'm okay. I'll just eat some of yours.
No, you won't.
No,
you won't.
I'm asking you.
No, they won't.
If you want something on your own,
yes.
Don't say, no, I'm good. I'll just have whatever you're. No.
Yes. Yes.
Because it's like, because you feel a way. It's like, you thinking about all the, you about to get into it, and it's just like, I start thumbing through you. But you, I don't say I get mad at it, but I definitely feel a way.
Wait a minute. Paul says food tastes better from someone else's plate. It's science. Who believes that, LL Nation? Paul, look, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
It might be because my Chipotle order, okay, she started to eat my Chipotle order. So I'm like, wait a minute, you like your Chipotle order? She's like, but it's something how you order.
So now something how you order it.
Yeah, it's the way. It's same food. It's Chipotle.
So maybe there's going to be something about the way Jared Parker calls plays. Maybe it's going to be something different about the way he calls the plays that's going to make things different. It's going to lead to a different outcome.
Maybe he puts the vinaigrette on the rice before he gets to the rest of it.
Before you get the toppings put on it.
Before you get the top.
Okay, Left. You're giving secrets now.
See?
You're giving out secrets now.
The key to put the sour cream on the rice before you put all the extra stuff on it, and the right look, it's still Chipotle though. It's just the way.
So the way you speak it means something, and the way you say it affects the buy-in, right? Jared Parker talked about that.
Difference as far as leading the position group versus leading the offense. I guess what's been the biggest difference for you in that role?
I think probably the biggest thing is you quickly go, and I've always talked about it because you try to put yourself in different shoes the older you get. And I think the biggest piece for me is starting to realize that in those days off, you have to start thinking about what you're going to do the next day. You can't wait on a plan. You have to be out in front of everybody, because I think with good communication and a good plan, people want to know exactly what's happening next. So that's the biggest thing, is thinking 3 days ahead, 5 days ahead. And then, of course, with leadership, there has to be a very, very calculated approach to building relationships, not with just the tight ends now or saying hi to guys. You want to build a full investment across the offense to let everybody know that their relationship to me and back is very important. So I think just the investment in people goes up. I want these guys to know we love them and we care about them. We want them to do real good, but we also care about them, and I hope they feel that. And that's been the biggest change. You got to do that with 55 guys compared to 10.
He's dropping some gems there, man. I might be petty. Seems like he's saying some things. We want the coaches and their ideas to actually, seem like they matter.
Really?
And then we want the players, we want them to feel like we care for them.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Yes, to say the least. This is about the second time he's mentioned the players feeling cared for.
He definitely been throwing a little shade.
As if the former might have been a tad bit of a BA, if you will.
A narcissist. But I do think that if that's his shtick on what he's riding with on I'm not the last guy, I think it'll work for one season because you're not the last guy. But seasons after that, who is Jared Parker? I know you're coaching and bringing to the table what you saw was lacking, which made you seem like a really good candidate because you could be a hole plugger. But a couple of seasons down the line, if you're still there, what's going to be your whole ship that you're building? We need something else to ride on. We riding on Tommy's ship right now still. It just painted different. Got a couple different features added to it. Scrubbed up a couple stuff. But it's only going to take us so far before it's like we need a whole new ship. So it always is good to be collaborative, but you still need one ship leader, when it comes down to it. Like, what are you gonna put your name on, Gerard? How's the offense? Who you putting name on this? I know you calling the plays, but what do you? Who's stamping? Who's signing the checks? Who's signing the checks on offense?
What do you think the setup is going to be? Like, we don't know yet. We don't know if Parker is an on the field OC up in the booth. But normally, where's the quarterback coach normally go?
The quarterback coach, he usually is on the field. So I'm expecting Gino to be on the sideline. But, I think Gerard Parker probably would be up in the box, considering his contact with the players are not as much as the assistant coaches would be, right? Because he lets these guys coach. So I'm sure he'll be on the overhead through the phone kind of thing, as opposed to being on the field, because he's not necessarily on the field communicating with players every play either, So his benefit would probably be in the box, where the assistant coaches like Gino and Chancey would be on the field.
How does that benefit the quarterbacks?
When you got your quarterback coach on the field, it definitely makes it a little bit better. It's just kind of awkward, coming off the sideline and your coach isn't there, and everybody goes to their coach. So you just sitting on the sideline, kind of trying to find things to do for a minute, because that's how it was at what was it? Even with Matt LaFleur, I mean, if you're not talking to Kelly coming off the field, and you're not getting on the phone, you're really just kind of hanging out until the next drive, because O-linemen's where he stands on their ass. The running backs is with the running back group. They sit all together. The receivers kind of float because there's like 50 of them, it feel like, But I'm sure with Chancey out there, he on there. But when we had Matt LaFleur, he was in the box.
Yeah.
Sanford, he was in the box. Chuck Martin's in the box. The only people on the field that I had was Denbrock, Kelly. Shoot, that was about it. Denbrock and Kelly. LaFleur was up there. Sanford was up there. And so, yeah.
Lucky Lefty Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, CB Nation, in conjunction with Irish Breakdown. Great content. Leave 5 stars. We appreciate you. Home of the Misguided Passion. And we spin it different. This could be the year we transition into wide receiver U. Yep, left.
Yep.
I don't know if Notre Dame fans are even prepared for this, bro. That was a great article in The Athletic. Actually, 2 articles. One was by Pete Sampson, and he was talking about the support actually that Marcus Freeman is going to need to be successful at Notre Dame, but it was also connected to an article by a guy, Bruce Feldman, where he talked about how tough the first year is for a new head coach and getting not only the players to buy in, but getting everyone surrounding the program to buy in to the vision of the head coach, and how easier the second year would be. We're going to get into that, left. Year 1 to year 2 for Marcus Freeman, and what should naturally happen and naturally improve, as opposed to the players and how they play into it. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. You already know. We spin it different. Back at it, Lucky Lefty Podcast. As we said before, you can always get to our great content. We need you to subscribe to us on YouTube, Lucky Lefty Podcast. Smash that like button for us. We would greatly appreciate it. You guys have been doing a great job continually, as always, supporting all of our content. Leave your comments. We respond to all. The Onora boys are in the building. It's a Tuesday. Great day. Left. We're going to hear from the linebackers tomorrow. And we're going to talk about the linebackers and who we expect to emerge a little bit later in today's show. Because as we expect the wide receivers to emerge, based upon what we've seen early and how they're teasing us in some of these practices, we're also being teased with a lot of blitzing and the practicing of blitzing from the linebacker position. And it's safe to say that blitzing was not a strong suit for Notre Dame last year. Like they like to do it. The linebackers looked like they would just go and waltz and dance with the offensive lineman or the running back, and then the safeties would be blitzing from like Happy Valley with no chance to get to the quarterback and just telegraph what they were trying to do defensively. So hopefully the timing and the purpose of the blitz will be totally different this year and lead to different outcomes. I lead
Yeah,
you to go ahead, Left. Go ahead.
I was gonna say yes. I think it wasn't very threatening to say the least. Us blitzing last year, so I think to have more impact with guys like Jalen Sneed running in there, I think it'll show a lot more intimidation and a lot more result when blitzing like that.
I take us to the Athletic with a big time friend of the program, Bruce Feldman. He's been on with us multiple times, Left. And he did a great article. And the article is founded on what traditionally is successful coaches in year two. And he contrasted by beginning the article talking to Sonny Dykes, who, of course, came in year one. And Gary Patterson was a TCU legend, in my opinion. You might not consider him a legend as a head coach in college football, but at TCU, he was pretty successful in establishing that program and was cast a pretty big shadow, in my opinion, on Sonny Dykes as he came in to forge that program under his leadership. And they end up in the national championship game against Georgia in year one. And of course, it's a new day. So the transfer portal definitely allowed for that program to revamp, to keep some of its players, and to win the Big 12 and get into the playoffs, shock Michigan. And then, of course, we saw them get decimated by Georgia in the championship game. But Sonny Dykes just talked about it being a surprise to him how successful they were. And he has more questions in year two than he had in year one, which is crazy, right? Like he came into year one not knowing how his team will perform. He's getting new guys in, doesn't know these transfers coming in. He's having to learn on the fly, trying to learn his coaching staff on the fly. And all of a sudden, they get going and they end up in the championship game. Now he loses a lot of players. Once again, he has to hit the transfer portal. And by the way, they were one of the top three teams in the transfer portal as far as successfully getting talent in. Once again, coming off of that championship game campaign. But he says, "Look, I have more questions now in year two. I've lost staff after year, lost leadership, lost guys to the NFL. Quentin Johnson's possibly going in the first round. So the TCU situation was definitely an anomaly. Give me the three things that Notre Dame fans can expect to be much better in year two of Marcus Freeman in comparison to what we saw last year."
I think starting fast is one of them. Starting fast in the sense that I think as a offense we will click a lot faster this year, and a lot more things will be greenlit for us this year to operate much more productively. I think defensively we're getting more senior and more athletic in the positions like linebacker and the secondary that have grown, which like we talked about a little earlier, the blitz I think will be more impactful. So I think limiting the things that were the hugest impacts on us, like the running game for opposing teams being over 100. I think we'll see, if anything, that be the number one thing that Marcus Freeman is addressed. And you'll see that early on with our young linebackers mixed in with the veterans that are still very solid. So that's one thing. The second thing, I think we'll see more explosive plays from our secondary. So two of the three will be defensive, I believe, but the secondary, a lot to prove, a lot to bounce or build on from last year, being a elite group that we have on the team. And then offensively, I think what we expect to see different from Marcus Freeman is to see him more relaxed. I think the offense had him wound up and a lot more tight than he probably wanted to be during last year, from either we running the ball too much or having crazy mistakes or not being productive as we should, or not closing out games as he knows we can. So I do believe he has a lot more trust in the offense this year, so he'll be more relaxed. I think we'll see him more engaged with transitions of big plays, or maybe even with the ref, be more engaged, but not just be so reserved this year as he was in his first year.
I agree with that. The other coach that he used was Kevin Sumlin when he arrived at Texas A&M, and he replaced Mike Sherman. And they spoke to the players, and the players in the interview talked about how everything sped up under Kevin Sumlin, and everything became about competition. Kind of some of the similar things we hear from Marcus Freeman. And Kevin Sumlin and Sonny Dykes both agree on one thing. The most important hire starting out is your strength and conditioning coach, because they're the ones that spend more time with your kids. They spend more time with your players than anybody, the strength and conditioning coach. And really, that is the base of a program, because you can really take your program to the next level. I always point back to what you used to talk about, Lev, how revolutionary, whether or not you believe it was illegal, steroids, or whatever, but the strength and conditioning that Nebraska had in the 80s and early 90s, when you would see them come out on the field, bro, it was an advantage. It just was. It was an advantage. And it really wasn't until they met that Miami squad in 2001 that was also big and strong, but just had great, man. They had something like 23 NFL players on that squad when they met Eric Crouch in the Cornhuskers in the championship game and just outclassed them. But that run, which was based off of Tom Osborne changing the strength and conditioning part of Nebraska football, and the program exploded, kind of leads into what Sonny Dykes and Kevin Sumlin are talking about, and how important the strength and conditioning coach is to a program, especially when you're going in trying to get buy-in from players.
Absolutely. Strength conditioning is huge. I think you saw that with Brian Kelly and his 1 year change to Bayless, and impact it had an undefeated regular season. You got guys getting drafted. You produced the winningest class. You got the winningest coach out of it. So you definitely see a huge change in a short time when you have a strength coach, because like you said, it is the guy you spend the most time with during that time.
Personalities. Do the players take on, because you love player-driven teams, Left. You've always said that. You feel like the most successful teams are player-driven. If that's the case, do the players take on their own personality, or do they take on the personality of the head coach, but then just kind of build out upon that with their own personalities?
I think the team is set up great with Marcus Freeman's personality, his coaching style, that the team can take on and be able to develop themselves as, okay, we got the backing from our coaching and the coaching staff. Now let's build on that and believe in ourselves. And that we got a lot of players that these guys have been knowledgeable enough to recruit, to bring in here, and we can make it a championship squad.
We've already played the video of Oklahoma defensive back Malcolm Kelly, right? Back when the Sooners were popping as a program, how he was, freestyling in the locker room. And you see what we saw from the squad running out onto the lacrosse field, being led by Cam Hart. Cam Hart is out there with the lacrosse stick, screaming and hollering. That's so not Cam Hart, bro. Like if you watch Cam Hart walk around campus and watch him in practice, because he is the OG. So when he's going through the drills, like you will see Christian Gray on his right-hand side and another DB on the left-hand side. And they're asking questions. He's talking to both of them. He's leading the drills. He's getting guys hyped up. But expecting Cam Hart to be that dude that we saw on the burn that day, I actually love it. I don't know if we would have seen that same Cam Hart come out under Brian Kelly, but under Marcus Freeman, I'm glad we can see that other side of Cam Hart. I think it might be some of the younger players bringing it out of him.
Yeah, I think the inspiration is there for older guys to get inspired by younger guys and vice versa, especially, Ben Morrison and Cam Hart pushing each other in that way that, Ben Morrison set a tone when Cam was absent, that Cam being the big brother would love, I'm sure, to compete and raise that level and being healthy when he gets back. A lot to prove on both ends, but you get to see that these guys are pushing each other through their own talents, and Marcus Freeman has fostered a competitive environment to where guys aren't just going to be able to just go through the motions. You're going to have a lot of competition, and hopefully that stems for greater unit productivity from the units that we're looking to do the most damage, which is the receivers and the linebackers this year.
Lucky Lefty podcast. Left, we talked about how the defensive line should be better. I think they should exceed expectations, which are low, in my opinion. And I'll say it again. You're Notre Dame. And if you're losing a second-round pick and 2 undrafted players on your defensive line, if you can't replace that at Notre Dame, there's a bigger issue. Like if you don't have the talent on your roster to replace 2 guys that probably would go undrafted and a guy that's going to go in the second round, then we have some bigger problems at Notre Dame that we need to solve. So talent to me is not the problem. That's not the problem. Opportunity is the problem. They have leadership. They have Howard Cross, Riley Mills. Both have played a ton of snaps at Notre Dame, and they've been productive. You had Gabriel Rubio up the middle, who came on in the second half last year. True 300-pounder, right? You have Devin Houston, who's not participating in the spring, but he's 282 as a freshman. And if he's as good and as quick as we've been told, then he should be able to get into the rotation. You have Jason Onyé and Tyson Ford, Donovan Heinisch, who's gained weight. Look, you go out, you recruit these kids that are 4 stars, they should be able to play and produce at this level of college football. Because in my opinion, you didn't lose much. Like, okay, you lost Isaiah Foskey, but in totality, you didn't lose a lot of top-notch talent along the defensive line. We should be able to replace that or even be more productive as a total unit, to be honest. And then you get Javonte Jean-Baptiste coming over. If he can get anywhere from 8 to 10 sacks and be disruptive, you've got your bang for your buck in the transfer portal along the defensive line, which leads me to what we always talk about, because stopping the run does not fall solely on the defensive line.
Right.
J.D. Bertrand has no excuses but to be better this year.
Right.
None. There is no inconsistency that should show up in his game.
None.
Now, if he just flat out gets beat by somebody in the hole, okay, it happens. But the inconsistency of false steps and not reading properly and not coming downhill.
He can't be the glaring mistake that happens on defense. Not saying he can't mess up, but some guys mess up. You'd be like, man, like, why is it so like obvious when you mess up? You know what I mean? You get burnt or toasted, like Nick Coleman. Oh, I love Nick Coleman. I always bring him up. I love him to death.
Yeah.
But like, Yeah, DBs get the ball caught on them. But when Nick Coleman got the ball caught on him, you'd be like, oh my God, put your hand up, turn your head around. So that's what JD can't be. JD can't be the guy where we see the other team's offense put the running back on outside and got a one-on-one and they throw it to him.
Yeah.
That's got to be an incomplete.
Yeah.
Because of where you are on the team and what you need to be showing as a leader.
Yeah. Maris Lee a foul. I don't know, Left. I
think he's been out recruited in his position group to where the younger talent is so talented that it makes the older class look like the older class. It's like, it's the transition from a Carlos Calabrese to a Jalen Smith. It's like
Carlo was on a championship defense.
And he's on a championship defense.
He's on a championship defense. So we're not trying to make Carlo sound like he was trash.
But Carlo is not Jalen Smith.
But he was not Jalen Smith. Exactly.
And that's the transition that happened. Similar to Jared Grace. Jared Grace was coming in as the transition, but then Jalen Smith came in. So when Jared came back, it was like, damn, like, man, you got Jalen sitting there. Can't just take him out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I feel Maris is in that position where, yeah, he's more veteran and probably knows more than a Jalen Sneed, but I would want a Jalen Sneed out there because he's talented.
Right.
One of those things.
It's one of those things, Left, where if there is a true competition, Nolan Ziegler should be on the field along with Jalen Sneed. And we're just being honest, and we don't get to see everything. And I pointed this out yesterday, and you can talk about it because you're a coach. I feel like there's a difference, and we'll see improvement in the linebackers because James Laurinaitis was a great linebacker.
Yes.
Max Bullock was a very good linebacker, but he was not as talented physically as James Laurinaitis. But he was just as productive. So Max Bullock was one of those linebackers that had to put in that work. He had to put in that work. So from his coaching style, I feel like his coaching style is going to benefit the linebackers in contrast to James Laurinaitis being a really good linebacker and can relate, but sometimes it's hard for the best players to really be able to translate and coach as well as others that might not have been as physically talented. Plus, James Laurinaitis walked straight out of the sports radio booth to coach. Max Bullock has been coaching under Nick Saban and coaching for years. He's been doing this. So I'm betting on Max Bullock to assist in the ascension of the linebackers, specifically the young linebackers, to be able, to kind of take over that position and make the position far more productive than it's been previously.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's just from watching him coach, the way he coaches, that's something that I definitely see being a benefit moving forward. But if things are going to be true, Jalen Sneed and Nolan Ziegler have to make an impact this year. They have to.
Yes.
Like hearing about practice and hearing about how good they are, how talented they are, how fast they are. All right. It's almost like waiting back in the day, right? Because back in the day, we didn't have, leaks, it was like a street team putting posters up in the neighborhood.
Right.
And you really didn't know when an album was coming out. You didn't know. You just heard somebody beating it down the street in their car, and you're like, "Oh snap, what's that?
Right?
Where'd you get that from? Where'd you get that CD from?" And you went and got it. It's like it's almost like, man, we're tired of hearing and reading about these young linebackers. Like it's about time for us to see it in action.
Yeah. Like I've seen the movie trailer 50 times now.
50 times, man.
I'm ready to see the damn thing.
So I definitely think he's going to make a tremendous difference as a coach, GA. And then overall, the cream rises to the top, right?
That's right.
If they're the more talented linebackers, they should see the field.
And that's how we have to operate as a. That's how we have to operate as a team that's trying to cross into the tier 1 level of competition in college football. I think we're like a tier 2, maybe tier 3 right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. John Massey says you got to play the younger guys or it will hurt recruiting. As I said before, one of the things I pointed out to you, Left, is how intentional Max Bullock was on Saturday when it came to Jaden Alsbury and Drake Bowen. Right? You know how they tell you, the old saying is if the coach stops screaming at you, stop worrying, you should worry if coach isn't screaming at you.
That's right.
Because if he is screaming at you, that means he thinks there's something there. But if he's not screaming at you, you should worry. And for him to be as intentional with the freshmen means there's an expectation that's being put on these freshmen to do it the right way and get it done quickly. Because the quicker you learn to do it the right way, the quicker we can get you on the field. We need you to be ready to play.
That's right.
And I love that because that's something different that we haven't felt or seen at Notre Dame.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Jalen Sneed can play he can play a lot. He can play weak, he can play rover. It's a lot of different positions he can play. You can move him around. He can be a chess piece, specifically using his blitzing skill, which in some third downs, he probably can line up at a Viper and blitz off the corner if you want him to, so you can get an extra linebacker or extra safety or defensive back on the field. It's a lot of things they can use with these talented linebackers. I expect them to take a step forward because at this point, there are no excuses. There really are no excuses for this linebacking core not to become prevalent. Jay Carr has a question for you, Left.
Let me see. What's my Chipotle order? Okay. So I get the bowl. If I'm going bowl, I go brown rice. Sometimes I put the vinaigrette on the rice first. Just depends on the Chipotle because they like to say we don't do that. I'm like, what do you mean? Just open it, So, but if I just do the brown rice, I do the vinaigrette. Then I get some fajitas. Then I do half chicken, half steak. But lately I've been doing the new chicken, so I've been doing the new chicken and the old chicken. And then I'll go a little corn, a little tomato, and a little sour cream. You got to say a little because they love to think this is the cafeteria in high school where they dig to the bottom of the thing and then just slop it on there. I'm like, just give me a little, man, off the top. Make it look like something off the Master Chefs that you be watching. Just dress it up. Make it look delectable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I get the cheese and lettuce. Then I tell them to shake it for me one time. You shake it up. Then I get the guac with the chips. You know what I'm saying? But then I go back and get the little mini chicken quesadillas. I don't do the big one. Right. I'm like, give me the kids one because it's like my little warm up to the bowl. See what I'm saying? Yeah. It gets deep. Deep.
Okay. It's a method too. Notre Dame says wifey gets free reign of his plate. Man, you're a good one, bro.
You're a good one.
You're a good one. Because I'm telling you, the missus puts her hand in my plate, I'm going to get another plate.
It's like, yeah, go ahead, have it. Just go ahead.
Yeah, you can have it. I don't Nah, I don't do that. John Massey, Malik, who talked the most trash on the teams you were with?
Kavari.
That was easy, huh? Kabari Russell came in the door talking trash, huh?
We all talk trash, you know, but Kavari would talk trash all the time.
So Kabari would talk to the point that you would want to whoop on him.
I think we all talk trash to that. But
Y'all were hectic then. That's
we
a
were
hectic squad.
But we were hectic. But we loved each other, you know. But it was like, you know, winning was premium. We ain't got no conference. You know, every game's super important. You got to be up for it.
Right.
We competing in everything, you know. So we all damn near wanted to fight each other for stuff. But Kavari would talk trash like win, lose, or draw, which is fair. But it's like that type of trash. You're like, all right, bro, you got it, man.
So,
what?
You know what? That's the way you have to do it, right? So that's the way to do it. If you're gonna talk trash, you have to be willing to do it at all times.
Yes, I 100% agree with that. But at all times, when you're doing the action, like if we playing the game, you know, you talking trash, win, lose, or draw. But if we're not playing the game and you still talking trash about the game, you like, all right, man, you got it, man.
So this brings me to a perfect point, and this isn't for like petty train. You remember Van Lith, the player from Louisville, who was confronted in the congratulatory shake line at the end of the game between Texas and Louisville in the women's tournament, right? And the young lady told her, "Look, you called me out of my name again. I'm gonna put those hands on you." So they faced off against Iowa Sunday night, left. And Louisville was down 15, and Van Lith was still talking trash. This is the game in which Iowa's Caitlin Clark dropped a 40-point triple-double on Louisville. 40-point triple-double. And in doing so, Van Lith is talking crazy with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And Caitlin Clark turns to her and says, "Man, you need to shut up. Y'all down 15. Which was better trash talk? See, that's me. I'm Caitlin Clark, bro. Yeah. Like, dude, look at the scoreboard. Like, you doing all this yapping, but do you give credit to Van Lith for, like, being who she is and talking trash no matter what the situation is?
You respect it to where you're like, okay, I get it. You know, where Caitlin wasn't responding how the Texas girl responded to her.
Right.
Whereas like, oh, I'm trying to fight you. It's more like, okay, you chatting, but what's up? You look at the scoreboard, like I think that's a healthier form of talking trash, but it's good that what's her name, Heather or something?
Yeah.
That she stuck with her guns, you know, you could tell she's salty, but I've never seen a good loser either. So if you're gonna be a loser, be a good one, you know, one that's gonna talk trash going out. And I think that's good banter to give her the motivation for next time or vice versa, whatever it is.
Man, I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, yo, she pretty much told the man, all that yapping, you sound like a little chihuahua right now. Y'all ain't on nothing. Y'all ain't on nothing. Check that scoreboard out. We beating the crap out of y'all. Oh, man. Let's see. I thought I had something special for us, but I see I do not. So we're going to do it like this. I want to say congratulations to another player that made his screen debut last night. As I was watching TV, I was like, oh, snap. And I thought I was going to be able to bring the slide up for us. Left.
Ooh.
And I thought you would have known this already. So this is what I'm going to do, Left. Since it's not acting right on the share screen, I'm going to take a screenshot of it right quick. And I'm going to bring it up. And then we're going to do it that way. Take a screenshot. You got the screenshot. And hopefully people can recognize this former Notre Dame player. All right, there it is. I should be able to come back in. And I'm surprised you didn't know this debut was happening, Left.
What happened?
I definitely would have expected you to know about this debut. So once again, the linebackers will be speaking to the media along with Al Golden tomorrow. And on Friday, we get to hear from the wide receivers. That should be pretty cool. Okay, here we go. And Levon Whitaker is going to join us on Thursday to talk about the effects of the new coaches around the campus, man. New volleyball coach, new basketball coach, Marcus Freeman, Neil Ivy, just the vibe around the campus. He's going to talk to us about it. And we're going to talk about how legendary things can be around the campus. All right, here we go. This Notre Dame player made his debut last night on All-American.
There you
None
go.
other than Max Redfield. That's why I said you should have known about this, Lev.
Oh yeah, I already knew Max was doing it. You know,
I was like, man, you should have known.
Him and Dave Butler in the acting scene.
I'm like, yo. I'm watching it. I'm like, they literally captured Max. Like, yeah, that's Max.
Yes, Max.
That is Max all day, every day. He even did a small little gritty.
Yeah.
On the screen. Yeah. So shout out to Max Redfield on his All-American debut last night.
Big time.
I was like, yeah, I knew Left had to know about this.
Man, you gotta holler at me when somebody get on that Snowfall episode or something.
Oh, you didn't know? You didn't know? You didn't know I made it?
Yeah, I already know. You dressed like
you I made it?
Just like you was back there with Frank.
Yeah, you didn't know I made it? I'm that surprise dude that comes out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm the one that catches Teddy slipping. I'm the one that catches Teddy slipping.
Love the series.
Sensational. All the way from Vegas says, if you could pick, who are your starting linebackers?
Snead, JD, Prince Colley. That's 3. And then leave the last one for Nolan Ziegler or somebody. Put a freshman in there or something. Jaden Osbury.
It's too soon for Jaden Osbury, but I'm telling you, when Jaden Osbury finally gets on the field, he moves different, love. That kid can play. You know what time it is.
Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic Petty Junction?
Petty Junction, Petty Stories of the Day, brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. Throw Lamar Jackson on the Petty train, man.
Man, they messed up my dog, man.
Hey, that was perfectly done yesterday, my dude. Right before your head coach had to speak to the media, go ahead with the ambush. Mwah. Masterful. Mad petty, but masterful indeed.
Yeah. Pay my man his money, man. Stop playing. Or send him somewhere else. I think he's just one of those. He's one of those guys that doesn't understand the big business of the world.
Yeah.
because he's been living in his own world for so long. But you know, you in a business where the business is always business, no matter how good you are. So pray.
Throw Chicago's own Patrick Beverly on the petty train.
Talk about LeBron small.
Who can welcome LeBron James back to the lineup only as a Chicagoan can.
He is a
that
crazy.
cat Patrick Beverly
He's
hit
crazy.
him with the
He's crazy.
hit him with the too small, and then after he hit a bucket late in the game, he ran down the court, ran past old Unc himself, Shannon Sharp, and said they stink.
Yeah.
They stink, which they do.
Yeah.
They absolutely do.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, let's see if they make it to the playoffs.
And Stacey King was mad petty for doing that Shannon Sharp impersonation after he did it too. I don't know if you saw it, Lev, but he did Shannon Sharp. He's like this. Stacey King was wrong for that, man.
Yeah,
he was mad petty for that.
That's
Anybody else you want to throw the petty train?
Man, the petty train always grows, but I'll sure have somebody tomorrow.
Len, I'm gonna tell you something. Let me go ahead and tell you something I would do right now. This would be mad petty, but I'll do it right now. I would trade Dak Prescott for Lamar Jackson right now.
Oh yeah, but they don't got no money though.
I'm just telling you.
I would do
if I were Jerry Jones, knowing that his contract is dead, yes, you can have Dak Prescott right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
You have him. And a first round pick. And a couple of more picks.
Yeah, Dallas would be nice.
Right you now. Give me Lamar with that offensive line. And man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
all right.
Lamar to Dallas. I like it. I'm gonna tweet it right now.
Okay. I might tweet it right now. Oh, no. I love Dallas. And I would trade for Lamar Jackson. I would get rid of Dak Prescott right now.
That's right.
Because Dak Prescott's not taking you anywhere.
No.
He's not taking you anywhere. He's not. He's not. Hey, did you see the latest mock draft, man?
I haven't.
They got your boy going 4th. That's comical to me. You want to know the 2 quarterbacks they have taken in front of Bryce Young? This is crazy, America. They have C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson being taken ahead of Bryce Young. Only in America. Only in America. I'm going to have to end it on that note. Have fun with that one. For Left, I'm Shaun Davis. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. But most of all, you have to make sure that you spend it different. We'll see you guys tomorrow.